In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Gospel of John. And now, I would like to read excerpts from the book Leaves of Gold, which is filled with words from God, about God, and for God and His people. Stories, sayings, phrases, and tales compiled by its editors to offer spiritual comfort, hope, and morality in a world rapidly losing its way. Please do pardon my accent in some pronunciations. Thank you. Leaves of Gold. Forward. Poor indeed is the man whose mind is not enriched by some phrase of lasting truth and beauty which serves to restore his soul in the exigencies of life. Each of us needs in his heart's treasury the memory of a lovely line to renew fellowship with the great and noble of this earth. And, indeed, almost as great as the ability to write a line of strength is the ability to use that line to higher levels of emotion and achievement. To discover afresh in truth expressed with elemental force our eternal kinship with God is a universal urge. Leaves of Gold had its origin in the recognition of this impulse. From those who spoke with authority have been chosen words in which the word becomes flesh to dwell among us. Here are maxims, phrases, anecdotes, passages, proverbs, and essays from the best minds among men. Here are words of wisdom and thoughts of comfort for all mankind. Consolation is the objective of Leaves of Gold, to provide a key to things of the Spirit as inspiration for daily living its design. My boy, so let him live, love work, love play, love all that life can give. And when he grows too weary to feel joy, live life with laughter to some other boy. Charles C. Wickelford. Extraordinary. The true calling of a Christian is not to do extraordinary things, but to do ordinary things in an extraordinary way. Dean Stanley. Beauty hint number 2. Said Mrs. Browning, the poet, to Charles Kingsley, the novelist. What is the secret of your life? Tell me, that I may make mine beautiful also. Thinking a moment, the beloved old author replied, I had a friend. Benevolence. He that lays out for God, God lays up for him. But alas, God's credit runs low in the world. Few care to trust him. Give and spend, and be sure that God will send. For only in giving and spending do you fulfill the object of his sending. J. G. Holland. Scented. He loved the house of God. His dearest wish to be a minister within her walls, in service full and free. Beautifully he lived. We who well loved him know, blessing with kindly hands our dead, softening death's cruel blow. Beautifully he died. The temple floors he trod, to pass to his reward within the altar of his God. Estella Sheets, Faringer. Charted. It is not darkness you are going to, for Christ is light. It is not lonely, for Christ is with you. It is not an unknown country, for Christ is there. Charles Kingsley. Dissolved. In the laboratory of Faraday, a workman one day knocked into a jar of acid a silver cup. It disappeared was eaten by the acid and could not be found. The question came up as to whether it could ever be found. The great chemist came in and put certain chemicals into the jar, and every particle of the silver was precipitated to the bottom. The mass was then sent to a silversmith, and the cup was restored. So a precious soul who has fallen into the sink of iniquity, lost, dissolved in sin, can only be restored by the great chemist, Jesus only. S.S. Times. Tappers. If you have knowledge, let others light their candles at it. Giving. Never be afraid of giving up your best, and God will give you his better. Hinton. The man I yet may be. Yesterday I dragged wearily alone, passively reigned the man I am, between the man I might have been and the man I yet may be. But now today I feel that with Christ's help all things are possible to the aspirations, the energy and courage that are threading in me in this beautiful newborn life of today, and the man I yet may be draws closer to my side. O.F.